Pikes Peak Ascent and Marathon playlist on this YouTube channel. You better believe it. Upper right hand corner. I think we're approaching 25 or 30 videos on that playlist. Actually, as I'm talking here, just reminded me to go digging into the wooden box found on the side of the road a couple months ago. Okay, looking for the Pikes Peak bib number from last year, and that is where the comment of the day is coming from. Group Simon, who I believe is over in Germany. So this is being pulled from last year's race, where I got to race with my brother. It was so fun. Man, that was a great day. You'll see a lot of B-roll in this vlog about that race, or from that race. What a vlog. Not only racing, but filming, family, community, life as it is. Hard work, beauty, love to watch it as always. Thanks for your enthusiasm for life, transported in every second of your vids. Greetings to all of you. Group Simon 6501. You get the comment of the day and that question of the day. Who has the Pikes Peak Ascent or Marathon on their, or in their bucket list, I should say. All right, there's the bib. Oh, fun. I just got to remember to put it back in the right place. So is it on your bucket list? And hopefully by the end of this video, it's still in your bucket list or on your bucket list, all right? Because I don't want to scare you, but I want to be real with you, okay, about the Pikes Peak Ascent and or Pikes Peak Marathon. And by the end, I'll give you the answer to what I will be racing in 2025. All right, I've come to my decision, and here is last year's amazing. I love a good bib number. You all know that. So second place, 2:14:59. Definitely not my best Pikes Peak Ascent by any means. But still, it was good. It was a fun last 400 meters, basically. Here's some footage from the sprint to the finish. I was in third place most of the race, and then moved up to second that last 400 meters. So that was a fun way to finish. But anyway, there is the bib number from last year. Okay, here's the deal. I believe every single year, I think though I've heard this, that every state in the United States is represented along at the starting line for the Pikes Peak Ascent or Marathon, not to mention everyone from outside the country. Here we go. If it's your first time and you're coming from outside of the square state, outside of Colorado, please, please, please start with the Ascent, okay? And actually, here is my medal as well. I'm not going to be able to pull it off the wall though, but start with the Ascent. Get your lungs, get your aerobic system used to going above tree line, above 11,500 feet. And just guess what? You got another 2,500 feet to go. So but once you get above tree line, that breathing becomes very difficult. So if it's your first time, I would strongly, strongly recommend the Pikes Peak Ascent to start before you think about doing the marathon. Trust me, all right? And think about this, for the marathon side, quads. If you do not have access to some pretty significant downhill training, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna hurt. And you might think, wait a minute, running downhill, that's the easy part. That's the hard part of the Pikes Peak Marathon race. The quads are gonna bark at you. The last 6 miles, it's really, really gonna be painful. So just think about that, like, where can you get access, and oh my God, I know a lot of people that come up from Florida, and you guys have my utmost, and ladies have my utmost respect. I don't know how you do it, because there's not many places to train downhill in Florida. I know some people that go like up and over the overpasses, and then I know some people with the right permission do parking garages, They'll run to the top of the parking garage and then run back down and run back up. Whoa, craziness. So just keep those two things in mind as you are considering the Pikes Peak Ascent or the Pikes Peak Marathon. A couple other things to think about, which is why, for me, 4 or 5 years ago, so the fire burns within me to return to the Pikes Peak Marathon, which is on Sunday, 7 a.m. The Pikes Peak Ascent is at 7 a.m. on Saturday. So for me, I wanted the family at the finish line, which is why 4 or 5 years ago, I was doing more so the marathons. I was also just interested in the going up and down, but I also, like, the family was a little younger. Getting the whole crew to the top of a 14,000 foot mountain, isn't the easiest thing in the world, especially when they're very young. And we've learned, a little side note, little tip of the day, like Kate and Francine haven't really seen me race much. They did in Vail at the GoPro Games about a month ago, but they have not been to the top of Pikes Peak. Imagine wrangling 6 kiddos to the top of a 14,000 foot mountain, but add in a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. Although, happy birthday, Kate. We just celebrated Kate's birthday. She is now 3. Can you believe it? So she loved her cake and her glasses. It was precious. But just a little tip of the day, like, don't hesitate to maybe get a babysitter so you can, like, listen, it's fun to have the whole family, trust me. But at the same time, what we have learned, True Love and I, is she wants to enjoy the day. She wants to cheer. She wants to get into the atmosphere and the fun of race day, which it is fun for the racers and the spectators. So we've learned just to bring the boys to the race, to most of the race. Listen, probably next year or the next year, the girls are going to be right in the mix of it. But right now, they're just so young. Anyway, that's a side topic. Back to the race is Pikes Peak. Think about where you want your family or friends. Like, do you want them at the finish line? It might be a little more difficult for them to get to the top of the mountain for the ascent. So maybe you do think about the marathon, because the marathon finishes back down in Manitou Springs. It's just a small little detail, but something to think about. The support along the way is epic, both days, as far as the aid station. So don't worry about that. Plenty of food, plenty of drink, plenty of cheering. Bar camp is amazing, even when you have to do a pirouette to avoid the, perfect. This is perfect. If you are, basically you might have to think of it. This is important. If you feel a little anxious about running downhill while other people are running uphill at you, it can be a little precarious at times. You just have to be aware and watch your footing. And I have to yell a little bit just to let people know, like, I'm coming. Anyway, just keep that in mind. Like, it's a little detail that you might not think about if you do the marathon, that on the way back down, you are going against traffic. So keep that in mind. Or if you're on the way up and some of the leaders are coming back at you, rather quickly, that could be something to consider. Just a couple more points for the ascent. Obviously, you're finishing on top, and it can be rather chilly. I was pretty chilly on, especially now that the race is in September and no longer in August. It used to be the 3rd weekend of August. Now it's the 3rd weekend of September, which I do actually like overall. I think it's because it was hot in August. Now in September, there can be snow on top. So again, if you're finishing on top, just make sure, like, you're ready for the cold and good clothing on top. But if you're doing the marathon and you have to run back down through the elements, so there's all these factors just to consider. I hope I'm painting the picture well. What else? I think that's about it. Okay, I guess I'll give you my answer. It was hard because, again, that marathon burns within me, but I'm going Ascent, okay? I wouldn't be shocked if I do the marathon in 2026. But this year, I have decided back to the Ascent. All right, got some unfinished business there, and it's just, at least for me and my brother, like, the competition is fun in the Ascent. It's good in the marathon, but there's more competition in the Ascent. So we're going to go Ascent again. So I'll be on Saturday, 7 a.m., and I look forward to seeing you. And actually, another question of the day, part 2, who is already registered and who is training and who is racing? Down below. I know there's a lot of people. So who is doing it? Who's gearing up? And of course, this vlog will end up on the Pikes Peak Marathon and Ascent playlist, which again is many videos. You could watch videos all day about training for the race vlogs. Oh my goodness, shoes to wear, nutrition, all this stuff. So I'll toss it to it upper right hand corner. Pikes Peak Ascent, Pikes Peak Marathon, Pikes Peak Ascent. It's just a great day. Oh. I don't know where I'll be staying yet, man. And I'd love to do a group run, and I would love to just hang out after the race. Should we rent out or get a bar or a restaurant in Manitou Springs and just hang out on Saturday or Sunday after the race? You let me know down in the comments. All right, we'll toss it to Pikes Peak right there. All right, right there. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.